What's up, y'all? It's Dr. Paul with a CGC unboxing video for Liberty Hill Comics, where I share my passion and over 40 years experience comic book collecting, investing, and conservation with you. Frequent viewers of the channel know that I took the opportunity of attending the Collectors Summit in Dallas, Texas at Heritage Auctions to submit some comic books to CGC in person. Among the submissions were 4 comic books that I submitted for Reholder. These were books that, for one reason or another, I wanted put in new, fresh CGC outer cases. First up was this copy of Strange Tales number 110, the first appearance of Doctor Strange, that I unfortunately dropped late in 2022 while I was loading up all of my stuff for my move to my new house and comic conservation studio. The drop resulted in this crack in the case, and it just needed a new case. The other 3 comics were all from Pedigree collections that had the old, standard, really boring blue label that really doesn't connote just how special Pedigree comics are, and I wanted them shown off in their best light. Because I was there anyway and needed to get my Strange Tales number 110 reholdered, I was already paying the tier fee and shipping back home. I thought it made a lot of sense to piggyback the other 3 slabs into nice, fresh, new, black and gold label slabs. Well, the wait is over, and today is the day we finally see the results. So, let's get this box opened up and see what CGC has sent us. I hope everyone is having a great start to their 2024. The channel has been growing organically, and I've really enjoyed interacting with all of you this past year as we grew the channel by over 1,000 subscribers in the last 12 months. I'd love to hear feedback from y'all on what you'd like to see more of or less of this year. For those of you that are here primarily for conservation how-to videos, I promise we have a fun one coming up very soon. But today is all about big books and bling. Pedigree books are the closest thing we have to bling in the comic book collecting hobby, where provenance and high dollar collecting meet, and CGC has really come up with a stunning label to make these books look a cut above your average universal label. First up is Green Lantern number 13 from the fall of 1944. The earliest book in our Reholder submission. This copy is in CGC 8.0 with off-white to white pages. It features 3 complete Green Lantern stories in 52 total pages. The cover art is by Erwin Hassan with interior art by Martin Nodell, the creator of the Green Lantern, who pitched his new superhero concept to Max Gaines of All American Publications in early 1940. Green Lantern became a smashing success and was one of only a handful of DC Golden Age heroes that was awarded his own comic book title. This copy came from the Crippen Pedigree collection, the second largest pedigree collection discovered to date. Green Lantern number 13 is a pretty rare book, especially in high grade. There are only 42 universal copies in the CGC census with a median grade of 6.0. This 8.0 ranks in the top 19th percentile with only 5 graded higher. Being this rare, this book doesn't change hands very often, not enough to establish a true fair market value. But this exact book sold for $1,440 plus shipping and taxes in a heritage auction on November 22, 2021. In 2023, I purchased this book for $1,500, and I did an unboxing video with a review of this comic book, the Crippen Pedigree, and a full market report. I'll provide a link to that video in the upper right corner here if you want to check it out in the old universal label. For the purposes of this CGC submission, I valued this one at $1,600, and it cost me about $50 all in to reholder. I do think the reholder fee here is definitely worth the investment. Not that I plan to sell this book anytime soon, but when my heirs are getting rid of my collection years from now, I'm sure having this beautiful black and gold label will help them fetch the best market price possible for this high-grade Golden Age beauty. Next up is Plastic Man number 19 in CGC 9.0 with off-white pages. It's another Golden Age comic book, cover dated September of 1949. It features a cover and 3 full stories by Plastic Man's creator and definitive writer-artist Jack Cole. What makes this comic book really special is that it's also from the Pedigree collection of fellow Michigan Wolverine Davis Crippen, and at 9.0 there are only 2 higher graded in the CGC census. In fact, there are only 10 universal copies of Plastic Man number 19 total in the CGC census. There are so few copies in the census that the median grade is an incredible 9.0. There are only the 2 graded higher in the census, which are singular entries at 9.2 and 9.4. Comics this rare don't trade hands very often, but the Promise Collection Pedigree copy is also a 9.0 and was sold at a heritage auction in January of 2022 for $780 plus shipping and taxes. The Crippen copy was offered for sale in 2023 on Shortboxed, and I made the seller an offer to acquire this beauty at $550 plus shipping. If you're out of state, the Shortboxed app does not affix taxes. So my initial buy-in on this copy was $565, a significant discount from the previous sale, and a price I'm very happy with for such a rare and high-grade Golden Age classic by Jack Cole featuring his groundbreaking creation. I think every serious Golden Age collector should own an example of a Jack Cole Plastic Man story. The man was a true visual storytelling genius, and he's very underrated. When I added this book to my collection, I did an unboxing, historical context, story review, and market report video for the channel. I'll provide a link to that video in the upper right-hand corner here if you want to check this comic out in the old Universal label. For the purposes of the CGC submission, I valued this one at $1,500, and it also cost me about $50 all in to Reholder, bringing my total investment in this funny book to just over $600. Well worth it for another super high-grade, rare Golden Age gem. Next up is Flash Comics number 81 in CGC 8.5 with off-white pages. It's another Golden Age comic book, this time cover dated March of 1947. It's got a really great Chester Kozlak cover featuring Hawkman and Neptune Perkins. In fact, it's Neptune Perkins' first cover appearance and one of only 2 Neptune Perkins appearances in the Golden Age. But what's really special about this specific comic is, you guessed it, it's another book from the Pedigree collection of Davis Crippen, and it was slabbed in 2004, originally denoted as the D copy. So, unfortunately, this is one of the books that was stolen from the Crippen residence and only later recognized as having been part of the Crippen pedigree after Davis Crippen passed away in 2006. And it's an incredibly rare book. There are only 23 universal copies of Flash Comics number 81 in the CGC census, with a median grade of only 7.0. This 8.5 copy occupies the top 22nd percentile, with only 3 graded higher in the census. Comics this rare don't trade hands very often, but fortunately for me, in 2023, this one was sold in an eBay auction with a low starting bid. After 35 bids, I was last man standing with my high bid of $1,250 plus taxes and shipping. This is a great example of the best of DC's output in the post-World War II Golden Age era, and I think it has one of the best covers of Flash Comics from the Golden Age. When I won this comic at auction, I did an unboxing, historical context, story review, and market report for the channel. I'll provide a link to that video in the upper right corner here if you want to check this comic out in the old Universal label as well. For the purpose of the CGC submission, I valued this one at $1,600, and it also cost me about $50 all in to Reholder. This is another really special book that I'm thrilled and humbled to be the caretaker of for this generation. By the way, here's something really cool. When Heritage Auctions brought the bulk of the Crippen Pedigree collection to the marketplace for the Crippen family or the Crippen estate, they issued these certificates of authenticity to go with each of the books. And this particular one, in all the confusion when I dropped it off, I had forgot and I left it in the bag with the slab when I left it with CGC at Heritage. CGC's submission instructions expressly tell you not to do this. They state that you will not get it back, that they will dispose of it. And I just want to say thank you, CGC, for making sure I got this back. That was obviously my bad, and I really appreciate them sending that certificate of authenticity back to me. It's a cool little piece of the provenance of this book, and I'm glad it wasn't lost to me just because of my oversight there. The last book in this Reholder submission is this Silver Age Key. Strange Tales number 110 in CGC 6.0 with off-white pages. It's the June 1963 issue with a Jack Kirby cover and the lead Human Torch story written by Stan Lee and penciled by Dick Ayers. But it's most notable for the 5-page backup story titled Doctor Strange, Master of Black Magic. The first appearance of Doctor Strange, the Ancient One, Wong, and their nemesis Nightmare. It's also the first appearance of several important locations: the Dream Dimension, the Ancient One's hidden temple, and Doctor Strange's now famous Sanctum Sanctorum. It's also the first appearance of the Eye of Agamotto. In these 5 pages, Stan Lee and Steve Ditko lay the foundation for essentially all of the Doctor Strange stories told over the next 60 years, including those now being told in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are just over 2,000 universal copies of Strange Tales number 110 in the CGC census, with a median grade of only 4.5, and this 6.0 copy slots in just inside the top 30th percentile. A CGC 6.0 has a fair market value today of about $4,100 plus shipping and taxes, with a 12-month trailing average of $4,500 and a 12-month range of between $3,500 and $5,300, but with an all-time high of an incredible $11,400 in this grade. During the beginning of the prolonged bear market in collectibles, I paid $4,500 plus shipping and taxes for this comic from Lone Star Comics, which is about $300 under current fair market value at this time. That price is still well within the 12-month range, so I don't feel I've lost any serious equity on this one, but as an investment, this blue chip collectible has not yet paid off. When I purchased it, I put up a video on the historical context, story review, and market report. If you're interested, check that video out by following the link in the upper right-hand corner. After I dropped this slab and put that nasty crack in it, my stomach sank a bit. I'm just glad to have this slab repaired and have it back in the vault as a long-term hold. I hope you enjoyed this CGC unboxing video. Those were some pretty special books, and it's not often you're able to put together so many high-grade Golden Age Pedigree books in one place. Plus the blue chip Silver Age Key of the first appearance of Doctor Strange. I'll be starting a new conservation video series soon, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, Happy hunting, and take care of one another.